Alright class, we've got a pretty big problem here at Hope Speak. Alright, listen up guys. You ever try to use the goddamn toilets in this fucking place? Listen, y'all got some balls if you think that your damn professor tries to take a dump and then one of you brats can just pop up that you're slick. I ain't that stupid, son. But y'all ain't got shit cause there's another person out there and he's got some huge balls. Balls so goddamn huge that they kinda just lopped him off when he was 10 years old. Of course, I'm talking about Zheng, the Ming Dynasty explorer that was able to collect a map of Afro-Eurasia and even bring back some of his achievements back to the Ming court. And just so you remember, this guy got his balls cut off when he was 10. Yeah, crazy am I right? Zheng was born in 1371 as Ma He in Kunming, which is here in the Yunnan province of China. He was the descendant of Mongolian Yuan Dynasty aristocrats, which, if you don't know anything about the Yuan Dynasty... Hey man, it'd be pretty cool if you just forgot the whole China thing and let us take charge for a while for about 100 years maybe? Capiche? Wait, what the fuck? Hell no! Crap, he said no, what do we do? Think, Kublai, what have Grandpa Genghis done? Oh, I got it! Yeah, yeet! So after a brief war with his brother over who got to rule the newly founded Chinese dynasty, Kublai Khan became the first ruler of the Yuan dynasty. Now obviously, the Chinese weren't too happy about this since they kinda liked being in charge of their own country, and after a bunch of natural disasters starting in the 1340s, the Chinese decided they had enough, and under Zhu Yuanzhuan of the Red Turbans, the Mongolians were chased out of China in 1368, and the new Ming dynasty was founded. Now, you might be wondering what the hell this has to do with anything? Well, Zheng was of Mongolian descent, and Yunnan, his home province, was still under the control of Yuan dynasty loyalists at the time. The Ming were pretty salty about this, so they decided to go invade Yunnan in 1381, which led to his father dying in battle and him getting captured by the Ming army. So while he was captured, he was interrogated and thrown into prison where, and I'm not kidding, he got his balls cut off. At age 10, he got his fucking balls cut off.
Alright kid, think happy thoughts, I don't know. What the hell do you kids like these days?
Fortnite.
Shit, now I know I can't let you have kids. I was gonna let you off the hook, but goddamn! Alright, 3, 2, 1...
So after he got his man-jewels lopped off, Zheng was placed under the service of Zhu Di, the Prince of Yan in Beijing. Joining his army, Zheng helped fight off Mongolian invaders on the northern front for several years, and over time, became one of his most trusted servants and eventually became educated, something that likely wouldn't have happened otherwise. A few years later, the Ming Emperor died, and luckily for the Prince of Yan, his older brothers also died, so being the eldest surviving son of the Emperor, he was supposed to become the new Ming Emperor. But he didn't, his nephew did. As it turns out, like most nephews, his nephew was kind of an asshole, and he took away a bunch of power that previously belonged to the princes. So in 1402, Zhu Di decided to launch an invasion on the Ming capital of Nanjing, and with Zheng being one of his commanders, the emperor gave up and Zhu Di became the new emperor of the Ming dynasty 4 days later. Zheng got the title of Grand Director of the Directorate of Palace Servants for his help during the invasion against his nephew, and he ended up serving in high court positions during his time, but you know, he never got to bang any chick, cause... Anyways, a few years went by and Zheng finally became the chief envoy of the Ming dynasty, meaning that he could finally achieve his dreams of traveling to the seas. Even though he was Muslim, Zheng also worshipped Tianfei, the goddess of sea travelers, which is what made him want to start his expedition. Over the next 28 years, he would take a total of 7 expeditions, ranging from places in Brunei, Java, Thailand, and Sumatra, all the way to India, Africa, and Arabia. Now, here's the catch. When Columbus went on his expeditions 87 years later, he only brought 3 ships and he had 86 men with him. The largest, the Santa Maria, was only about 70 feet long. Guess what Zheng fucking did? He brought, and I'm not kidding, 317 ships, a total of 28,000 men, and the largest ships were 417 goddamn feet long. Yeah, really makes you think about whatever the hell Columbus was doing, right? Now, the main reason why Zheng went on these voyages was pretty much the exact same reason that hypebeast in your chem class keeps pulling up in a hoodie every day even though it's 100 degrees outside. To flex. Ming China was definitely one of the strongest powers in the world during the 15th century, and they wanted to show it. Unlike European expeditions, Ming expeditions were to gain tribute from local rulers who would present gifts to the Ming court in order to gain the help of the Ming Emperor. If they didn't immediately concede to his demands, he'd just launch a fucking war on them and kick their ass until they did. And it worked. Including one of the most infamous pirates at the time, Chen Zuyi. He just blasted his ass until he lost and then sent him back to China for execution. In a more infamous case, one of the items that he brought back was a giraffe from Africa, and apparently the Ming court was so goddamn fascinated with the thing that they believed it to be a mythical creature from Chinese mythology called the Qilin. Sadly, when his pal Zhu Di died in 1424 and was replaced by the Hongxi Emperor, funding for Zheng He's expeditions were stopped, and Zheng He ended up becoming the defender of Nanjing instead. Probably because they looked at this giraffe and they went, what the fuck? Nah, but in actuality, they did it because the Neo-Confucian scholars at the time didn't like how eunuchs like Zheng He were running the business and how much they were spending on his trips. Plus, since Mongolian invasions were always a threat, most of the resources that would have gone into maintaining his fleet ended up being spent on making the Great Wall, which saw most of its completion during the Ming Dynasty. But when the Hongxi Emperor was succeeded by his son in 1426, Zheng He was finally able to go on his 7th and last journey in 1433, and that's it. No one really knows what happened to him after that point. Most people think that he died during the expedition, but nobody knows for sure, since the Confucian scholars wiped as much mention of him as possible from future Ming records.
Hey, remember that guy that brought a giraffe into the court?
What guy?
Haha, you got me there. But seriously, what happened to that thing?
So while not much is known about Zheng He, his Maokun map was published in 1642, 200 years later, and some people even think that he was able to reach California on his journeys, making him the first non-Native American to reach the West, but no one knows for sure. Anyways, now that I've explained Zheng He, just take away this. Y'all ain't got shit, so stop interrupting me when I try to take a dump, aight? Wait a second, what the hell ever happened to that giraffe?
What's up, fuckers?
Oh god, what the hell? Guys, everybody get under cover!